a couple of you in the community said, hey, Cobra made a machinima. And you guys know I'm fans of machinima. I'm a fan of Cobra. I'm not quite sure what to expect here, but let's check it out.
There are stories in the verse. Stories of heroes. Stories of love.
What's Cobra and his wife doing up in Star Citizen? That's all I'm saying. Sounds quite entertaining, you know? What, Pepe? What did they do? Oh.
Stories of beautiful, happy endings.
Oh. Cobra. I know you have a lot of fun there, but...
Majestic places.
Get a little bashful here.
Stories of riches.
All right. Come on, Cobra. What's up, boss? How you doing, buddy? It's good to see all my mods here. I missed all of you. This is one hell of a long intro here. We got to get to something.
Stories of adventure.
Of adventure? I mean, Jesus. It's this has got to be good after this. Thank you, Oz, for that resubscription, bro.
Sure. Stories of amazing places.
Stories of my life. Stories of stories and their stories and stories. Turn the page, there's so many pages. Stories, longest intro of all time. Stories of my life.
There are so many beautiful stories in the verse.
Who can do that with COVID? Not many people. Not many people, just saying. The never starting story. That was good. I like that. That was good tech. That was good. Right, Futz, right.
But this
like I would that should have been
is not one of them.
Oh. That took a weird turn. That just took a weird turn. I don't know what to think of this thing. Yeah. That was crazy good. This is why Cobra's good, dude. This is why Cobra's on it.
I'm not an athletic guy. And when I told my friends I was taking this trip, they made fun of me, told me I spent way too much time in zero gravity. It's true. I mean, probably true. But I don't think I'm doing too bad. I'm hanging in there. These people that are around me are way more experienced than I am, and that's why I'm following their lead. That's why I'm hiking with them. On this trip, I have seen every stage of water. Wet, flaky, hardened, cold, sharp, jagged edges that could kill you if you slipped. But this is really worth it. Just as the sun started tucking itself away over the horizon, we entered the clearing. Our tour leader, who only wanted to be known as Renovo, stops and announces that we've arrived. I sit down my backpack, exhausted and exhilarated at the same time. And I soak in the view. I've promised to keep these coordinates and the route secret, but I can say that we are deep in the vast Takuya Mountains with one hell of a view.
Okay, this is total Mr. Moon quality style machinima here. This is total Mr. Moon. Cobra is tapping into Mr. Moon right now. Like, this is, I'm a very big fan of Mr. Moon.
A beautiful sense of peace and tranquility washes all over me before being replaced by the thought that my blood-curdling screams could echo through the canyon and no one would ever hear me. It makes sense now why Neville Lott chose this spot for his grisly deeds. Renovo announces that the ceremony will begin shortly. The others in the group prepare by changing out of sensible hiking gear and into elaborate costumes that are common at Day of the Vara celebrations, but slightly unsettling in this setting. A few people briefly disappear into the dusk, only to return with intensely focused, bloodshot eyes. I reach into my backpack and I sheepishly pull out an old Neville Lott mask. It's basically a crudely stitched together gunny sack with an integrated respirator. I look around and I avoid stares from the more committed participants for going with the easy and obvious choice for the ceremony. I'm the only guy that brought the Neville Lott mask. Instead, I watch Renovo strategically place candles around the clearing. And that's when I first sense something wrong. I count Renovo's steps while crossing from one side of the clearing to the other, and my heart drops. It's smaller than the crime scene described in police reports. There's no way Neville Lott committed his horrific murders here. I'm certain of this because I've read every book I could find on Neville Lott and pored over all the police reports multiple times. My obsession with Terra's most famous murderer began as a young child huddled around a campfire in these very mountains. Same ones.
I mean, this is deep already. This is really deep. I just need a Pepe. I need a drink. I need a drink of water. I'm dying from the COVID inside of me. Hold on a second. I don't know if I can handle this. This is very deep. It's going to a very dark place.
As my father and uncle recalled the summer that their family camping trip was canceled, they proceeded to tell me the story of how 7 hikers went missing over the course of that year,
It's them.
only to be found having suffered unspeakable horrors
It's like a
at
Black
the hands
Mirror
of
episode.
a deformed and deranged
You're all
Neville
gonna
Lott.
die. It's
They
you.
obviously avoided the grisly specifics, but my young imaginative mind couldn't keep from wondering exactly what happened.
Take your mask
Then one
off.
night,
Can't you see what's in front of your
My
eyes?
parents went out. I secretly watched the 2902 slasher classic, inspired by Lott's killing spree, The Hill Horror. The explicit imagery of Lott dissecting and dismembering his victims
It's one of those
remains
episodes.
burned into my mind. But what stuck with me the most were the flashbacks to Lott's normal life at Caliban before the Vandal invasion. It wasn't the graphic depiction of him burning off his own tongue that kept me up at night. It was the scene of Lott buried beneath the rubble, his home, unable to do anything but watch the wet crack and the wreckage as the vandal massacred his family. Somehow, Neville Lott embodied true evil and still earned my pity. These conflicting emotions confused me at first. How could I pity someone who did such unspeakable actions? Can extreme trauma truly change someone that much? Where exactly did history end and the myth begin?
Right now, it's
These
beginning right
questions
now.
inspired me to learn as much as
Cobra.
possible about the real Neville Lott.
It's
My
happening
obsession
all
with the
over
Lott
again.
case blossomed into general fascination with the macabre and gruesome true crime tales. Between creative writing and journalism courses at the university, I also took forensic science and criminal psychology classes, hoping to gain additional insight to why or how
Is that a body?
someone
Is that a body on the fire, by the way? Is that a body?
could commit such heinous acts. I've spent much of my professional career chasing stories dealing with the same issues that fascinated me as a kid. So when I was approached about writing a Dispatches from the Dark series on the UEE's most haunted locations, Neville Lott's clearing immediately came to my mind. Finally, I could justify why I wanted to find the spot that law enforcement had kept secret since its initial discovery. Very little is known about the scene of Lott's crimes. The clearing is somewhere in the Takuya Mountains in the terrain state of Vastek, and under enough cover to not be spotted by surveying ships. It's
going
secluded
down.
enough so that it
It's
can only be
happening.
reached on foot, but still close enough to hiking trails and campgrounds so Lott could hunt for victims.
This is the biggest cock tease of all time. Like, I know exactly what happened. What the intro is what was gonna be what happens with this particular video right here. Like, it is just one giant tease, and at the very end, it's gonna be like, holy shit. I feel like that's the way it's gonna be.
Most of the people who processed the scene have now passed away. But even in the wake of renewed interest in the case following the release of the Hill horror movie, those that had been there swore never to disclose its location, ever. When interviewed for Unspeakable Evil, what I consider the definitive book on Lott, lead investigator Gaston finally rejected Paula's request to take her to the scene. Gaston bluntly told her, no good can come from going there.
You mean heinous
In all
acts?
honesty, he continues, I hope a rock slide had destroyed the site forever. I'll admit, being told that I can't do something often motivates me more. I reread all that I could about the Lott case, combed through every detail in the police reports for any morsel that might hint at its location. I even compared hiking guides of the era to the current ones to see if there was any trails that had been rerouted or abandoned. When my research yielded no new insights, a friend put me in touch with someone in the terrain occult community who claimed to have participated in a secretive ceremony at the site.
It's crazy, man. It is cursed, though.
Through
It is
this
cursed,
connection,
Dash.
I met Renovo. I guaranteed their anonymity and promised to keep the location and aspects of the ceremony secret. Renovo proved to be knowledgeable about both Lott and his crimes, but now, as I take seat on the cold rock before the ceremony begins, I regret not asking more specific questions. The ceremony is best described as blending occult pageantry with true crime spectacle. Renovo begins to lead the chants and freely blends facts with fictional flourishes popularized by the Hill horror movie. Honestly, it's frightfully good fun, even if it's not the dark adventure to terrorism's notorious crime scene that I was promised.
He sounds just like Mr. Moon. You guys got to check out Mr. Moon if you don't know who Mr. Moon is. It's got a Mr. Moon vibe. No, some bad's happening. Like,
As the ceremony starts to wind down and everybody's coming off their pre-ceremony indulgences, trees begin to rustle above and around us. A sudden twig snaps in the dark and startles someone in front of me. At one point, a stiff breeze howls through the canyon, sounding like a distant, mournful scream. The hair on the back of my neck stands up, and a wave of sadness washes over me. But what's this? A rush of adrenaline, excitement,
It's a man-bear pig.
realization, self-reflection. I started to realize that Neville Lott used to hike with his victims, posing as a hiker. And then when they got to their location, he would fade away into the dark. He'd put on the Neville Lott mask.
I had to do that.
He would then come back and slaughter everyone at the campsite. I hiked with these people.
It's him.
I came to their campsite, and I put on the Neville Lott mask. I wonder if they'll write about me. I wonder if they'll make a movie about me.
My girlfriend is calling me right now. Hey, Christy, I've got you on speaker. I'm dying on stream. How are you?
Oh, I was just calling to check and see how you were feeling.
I'm dying for everybody because I'm an entertainer.
That is true dedication.
So, thank you for being there for me in my time of need.
Yeah, I didn't think you'd still be streaming.
I am, because I have missed everyone, and I wanted to show them how professional I was, that even though I'm melting on the inside, that the outside is completely fine. So people are just here for the outside, not really what's happening inside.
Okay, so the face is still beautiful.
The face is wonderful. The stash is in effect. I just happen to be dying and feeling terrible, but no one would ever know it. And that's the point.
That's good.
Right.
Well, I'm glad to hear.
People are saying, hello, Christy. Somebody even spelled your name. Oz spelled your name right, of course.
Wow. 10 points.
Yes, 10 points for Oz, of course.
Hi, everyone.
Hello. And I will talk to you soon about how deathly ill I actually am after I pretend that I am not.
All right. Try
Okay.
not to get too crazy.
Okay.
Better.
I'm okay. I love you, sweetie.
I love you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
See, it's about the projection of the person that you know you are. Hold on. I got a text from Mama Games here. I gotta respond to her. She says, "Hey, I'm checking in on you." Excuse. I'm about to die. I'm very slowly dying right now. Checking in on you. Can I help? No thanks, Mom. I'm sweating profusely. That'll make her worry. Maybe I shouldn't. What should I text her, guys? I will say that. No thanks. I'm sweating profusely. But I'm hanging in there. And she dropped by things for me like a mom does, even though I'm much older, which is a very sweet thing to do. So let me mention to her how much I love her. I'm a mama's boy. Let's say here. Thank you. See, I'm talking this through with you guys, and I need you to approve this. Thank you so much for helping out today. I love you. Your favorite son and your only son, but still your favorite if you had more sons. DG. And send. All right. So we've talked to the outside world. We have buffered ourselves for more time here on this stream. I'm dedicated to you, my loves, every single one of you. Let us keep going here. There looks like there's a little bit more, but I'm not quite sure. I think it's just a whole bunch of credits. But Cobra, dude, let me just say that was actually quite interesting. There were times when I was like, I don't know what's going on here, right? But I figured that shit out. Kind of knew what was going to go down. It was definitely an episode of Black Mirror, and it got me on a few parts. And that voice. And if you don't know who Mr. Moon is, by the way, go check out Mr. Moon, because Mr. Moon is like on a whole nother level, but with that voice. And he does some crazy RP, and it's really great. Pepe, I'm dying. I'm slowly dying, Pepe. Next.